Afternoon from the North American Bear Center. It's about 4 o'clock here in Ely, Minnesota. My name is Judy and I have some helpers out here with some bags of goodies. And we have Ted Bear out and we have Honey Bear out. This is our 4 o'clock enrichment, and everything I say here is being broadcast worldwide. I'd like to do a shout out to those folks in Ireland, shout out to the people in England, and also to our friends in Canada. I'd like to do a shout out to you Canadians as well. I know we have a lot of viewers up in that area. And Ted is cruising over here right toward me. And these two ladies here have a bag of goodies, and I'm not sure which one's for Ted, but one of them is. Yep. We're going to give Ted his little grocery bag of goodies. There he goes, and he's like, well, open it for me. Well, he can manage to open it himself. And what is the purpose of him opening a grocery bag? Well, I'll tell you. In the woods, bears would have to rip through logs, turn over rocks, use their nose to smell if there's something there that they want to eat. And we got a couple things in the grocery bags for him. We have, let's see, as soon as he gets his nose out of there, we have red grapes. I think we have some apple. We have romaine lettuce. He's not letting me see, gang. Hold on. He's too busy eating. He's chewing on his romaine lettuce right now. Now we have another staff member standing in front of the window den, trying to talk Honey Bear into grabbing her bag lunch or her bag treat. She's like, well, I'm not too sure. Ted just cruised by. I kind of like those guys to stay away from me. And she's typically late for the party. I want to talk a little bit while Sharon is working with our 18-year-old cinnamon phase black bear. Her name is Honey. This entire area here that you folks on the deck are overlooking is 2.5 acres. It is natural woods. It's really what was here when this facility was built. And we obviously put in a pond that's man-made, and obviously the waterfalls are man-made as well. And as I'm talking, here comes our princess. I sometimes call her Princess Honey. She looks very different than Ted. First in color, she's a cinnamon phase black bear, and she doesn't seem to be as impressed with her treats as Ted was. Well, she's got to work at it a little bit. Ted is far more impressed. He's really working on his lettuce. Of course, you can't see it for you folks that are in the worldwide audience. Ted's working on his romaine lettuce, still in the bag, and he's also got some nuts that he's eating in between. And for those of you visitors on the deck, you wonder who can see me and who can hear me. As I said, it's a worldwide broadcast. We have a camera that's mounted up on the deck on the one pole. Yes, sir, right where you are. Just look up above you. Yes, yep, there you are. And you were just on worldwide camera when you did that, and that's okay. But that camera has a 180-degree angle. It can go all the way to the far left and then swing all the way around to the far right. It can also pan, which I just described, tilt up and down, and zoom in and out as well. And so who's ever driving that camera right now, that is a volunteer person. It could be a volunteer anywhere in the world. That volunteer may be focusing on Ted, or that volunteer may have the camera focused on Honey, who is just right outside her window den. As I said, the purpose of this activity, it seems pretty simple. Hey, they're eating food out of a bag, but really it's more than that. It's that number one, they had to smell it, they had to open it, did they care what was in it? And it's actually those types of skills that they need to use in the wild to get food out of a log, ant pupae out of a rotten log, maybe a beehive that's got immature bees that they like, and all that is protein for them that they actually enjoy. In the morning we do something a little different. We give them what I call a buffet. We have a different word for it. We call it a spread around the pond, a variety of food, and sometimes we kind of hide the food around a little bit, so they have to hunt for it. We put it in some of these hollow logs, under a rock, in a tree, stick it on a tree where they got to reach up for it, whatever. Again, all those activities is something that they would have to do in the wild. Our goal here at the North American Bear Center, although we have captive bears, we do have captive bears in 2.5 acres, natural wooded environment. When you come to the Bear Center, you don't always see a bear the first minute you walk in the door, and we hope that you would look at the 60-plus videos and exhibits we have on our exhibit floor, as well as enjoy 2 BBC documentaries that we have in the theater that talk about how many of these videos were achieved and recorded here in the Ely area. When we do have a bear in the viewing area, we make an announcement. As soon as we know that there's one of the bears out and about where you could reasonably see them, the cashier, the sales associate, will announce that we have a bear in the area or in the pond, at which point you can stop what you're doing and head either up to the deck or the viewing windows here to see the animal do whatever it is they might be doing. Right before 4 o'clock, we noticed that Ted, and for those of you on the worldwide listening, Ted was far left in what we now, at least I'm calling, the clover patch, because it is a patch of clover that was planted last year after the construction of our addition and our new building. And it seems like both Ted and Lucky, when they're out, seem to gravitate to the clover patch, and many times we find them laying there just eating clover, which is great. It's they prefer the white clover over the red or pink, and so it is a favorite of theirs, and it's natural food. That's always best. I'll give you a little rundown of what they might have had for breakfast this morning. Ted and Honey both had a raw egg. They had romaine lettuce, which is a big favorite of theirs. Had a carrot, a couple grapes, and some peanuts. That was around 9 o'clock this morning, 9 o'clock this morning. They've had a number of snacks since then, about every couple hours. This is their late afternoon snack, and they have yet to have dinner, which will probably be around 5:30, 6 o'clock. So they're being fed 4 or 5 times a day today during this time of year. The diet changes a little bit as it becomes July and August. Their appetite significantly increases because they are entering a stage called hyperphagia. Hyperphagia really, in simple terms, is a time of the year when they start to get very hungry and try to gain weight for hibernation. You've seen me raise my hands as well as some of the people out here. Ted is looking for some food, and if you raise your hands in such a manner, he knows that you're not going to give him any food. One of our staff members just decided, well, let's give Ted a few little things because he was asking, and he's walking right over there. Honey, on the other hand, she's an 18-year-old female cinnamon phase black bear. She is just as much a black bear as Ted, even though she's not black. I got asked a question by a nice young kid the other day. Will she ever turn black? Nope. She's cinnamon phase and she'll always be that color. Although by the end of the summer she will have bleached out a little bit and appear to be a little different color, she will always be cinnamon. Both Ted and Honey were born in captivity. They have never known the wild, but they have both turned out to be excellent ambassador bears here at the North American Bear Center to teach you about black bears and their behavior. Honey is quite solitary. She prefers to be alone and is not overly interested in the company of other bears. Ted is a little bit more social and is always interested in people paying him attention. So I would consider him far more social, and I'd call him a little bit more of a social butterfly. Why are they so different? Well, it's not unlike human beings. If you know 3 or 4 or 5 people, you'll find that all of them have different personalities, some more outgoing, some less outgoing, and some in between. Bears are very much the same. Not all bears have the same personality, so you can't make a generalization about necessarily black bear personalities. But in general, you can say they tend to be shy and timid, and are really not interested. A wild black bear really is not interested in engaging people. They prefer to be out in the wild, eating wild food, and really just doing what bears do. I want to thank you all for coming to the North American Bear Center today. We are open until 7 o'clock tonight. Your admissions pass is a day pass. That means you can come and go as many times as you would like today. And we are open every day, 7 days a week, 9 in the morning to 7 p.m., all the way till sometime after Labor Day. And for those of you listening to this worldwide webcast, I would invite you to think about taking a trip to the Ely area. There are many things you can see here in Ely. It's a great wilderness area. There are wilderness outfitters that'll take you out and set up canoe trips for you. Great fishing, hiking, various outdoor adventures. We also have, beside the North American Bear Center, we have the International Wolf Center as well, where they do have a pack of wolves on display. That's also an enjoyable educational opportunity. So I want to thank you all for coming here and joining us today. I'm going to be exiting the stage here, stage right, and then being quiet. You can take pictures and just enjoy the scenery, as well as inside where it's much cooler, because I think right now it's approximately, for those worldwide folks, it's about 85 degrees right now, maybe 87 here in Ely, Minnesota. Slight overcast, very, very slight overcast, and virtually no wind. So it's a little warm today. Bears have been a little slower moving around and prefer the pond a little bit, a little cooling off. But I would again ask you to take a look at some of the exhibits. We got a couple hours yet. You can watch some of the documentaries that were done in 2010 and 2012 in our theater. Once again, thank you for coming to the North American Bear Center, and enjoy your stay in the Ely area, and safe travels wherever you may go. Thank you very much.